So today our topic is about zoonotic disease. So the disease that transmit from non-human vertebrates animals such as the mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians and fish to human. So zoonotic disease are caused by the infectious agents including the bacteria, viruses, parasites and fungi. So this is the example of the zoonotic disease transmissions, which is such as the early host. The virus jumps from primary host to susceptible species. The second one is the spillovers to humans. For example, virus jumps to humans through close contacts with the infected animals. And also the human to human transmission, such as virus spread from persons to person. So there are the different sources of zoonotic disease, such as the domestic animals, which are the dogs, cats, and cattle, wildlife such as the bats and rodents, birds and insects such as the vectors. So there are different zoonotic diseases. For example, diseases caused by the organisms, such as diseases such as the vectors organisms or the human organ system most impacted. So there is different classifications by transmission, such as the zoonotic disease spread through the direct contact, indirect contact, foodborne routes, vector-borne routes, airborne routes, and environmental routes. So the direct contact transmissions are human contact by the blood, saliva, urine, feces, skin lesions, no intermediate host involved. The examples of the direct contact such as the rabies, which when the dog bites, the anthrax which infected the animal hides, and the brucellosis which livestock handlings. So the indirect contact transformations, which is the contact with the contaminated objects, such as objects are called by the fomites, such as the cakes, tools, beatings, feed containers. Some of the examples of indirect contacts are salmonellas, which are poultry equipments, some ringworms, such as the contaminated surfaces, and E. coli from environments. So some foodborne transmissions are eating contaminated animal products, causing the gastrointestinal infection. For example, the foodborne zoonoses are the salmonella, which are from eggs and chickens, listeria from unpasteurized milk, and tinea from the undercooked meat. So the vector-borne transmissions are spread through the arthropod vectors. The vectors transmit pathogens while feeding. The examples of vector-borne diseases are plague, which is the flea, the Lyme disease, such as the ticks, and West Nile viruses, such as the mosquitoes. So some airborne transmissions are inhalations of the droplets, the aerosols, the dust particles. For example, the airborne zoonoses are Q fevers like livestock dust, piscitatious like the birds, and bovine tuberculosis like the cattle. The environmental transmissions include the contact with contaminated like the soil, water, often linked with poor sanitization. The example of environmental transmissions are leptospirosis, such as the water with the animal urine, toxoplasmosis, such as the cat feces in the soil. So some airborne diseases are transfers of diseases by the aerosol, the contaminated from water and surface, the foodborne consuming infected milk like the meat and the eggs, the bites and saliva from infected animals, the direct contact with the infected animals, or the vectors such as the bites of the mosquitoes and the ticks. So there are some risk factors, for example, close contact with the animals, the poor hygiene, the consumptions of the raw foods, the lack of the vaccinations, and the climate changes. So some safe dairy products are the consumption of the raw milk, and the milk product has a zoonotic risk. Therefore, pasteurization and boiling are crucial for the potential infection. Domestications of the animals, for example, domesticated animals such as the pets and cattle should be regularly monitored and taken to the vet. Vaccine should be applied to pets before adopting them. Some of the vaccines, such as the vaccines, are necessary for the proper safety and wide preventions of the pathogen. So, as a concluding marks, the zoonotic disease are a major public health concern. The multiple transmissions route exists, such as the prevention require the animal health, the human hygiene, and the environmental safety. So this is all about the zoonotic disease, their effect on the daily life and the function of these animals. Thank you so much.